Can you hear me okay? Are you getting good sound? Test, test, test. Check, check, check. Good? Okay, for the purposes of both the sound check and spelling of names, I'm going to introduce who's up here before I start. That way you have the spelling on camera. To my right is the Arizona U.S. Marshal, David Gonzalez. It's Gonzales. To my far right is Phoenix Police Assistant Chief John Collins, Collins. And to my left is Deputy Chief Fred Aldarasi. It's Aldorasi from the Maricopa County Sheriff's Office. Excuse me. So before I really launch into this, thank you. We're going to talk about a program today that you will see that without the media's partnership, we absolutely could not do this. But without the media's partnership, law enforcement would have a challenge as a whole. And we're going to kind of talk a little bit about that partnership today. For those who don't know, when you see silent witness, the reason that we're never in uniform is because we don't represent one police department. We work with all city, county, state, and federal law enforcement agencies. We truly are the servants of every law enforcement agency as they serve the public. And so we're not in uniform because we want them to know that whatever the need is, in a case like this, we are there to work with, stand beside, and serve them. And that's what we're doing today as a collaborative effort between the Phoenix Police Department, the U.S. Marshal Service, and the Maricopa County Sheriff's Office. Just a quick summary. I get some feedback every so often from the media folks, which is, how come you don't tell us how much silent witness does? So between all the police departments, law enforcement agencies we worked with last year, Sheriff's Office, in 2017, we averaged just shy of 3 felons were taken off the street each week. And by felons, I mean people with very serious charges. So 13 homicide suspects were taken off the street, and they were responsible for 20 homicides, 20 deaths of other people. 28 robbery suspects were taken off the street, and they were combined total good for over 42 robberies. And there's many other cases and many other charges that we've put together. We just wanted to let you know how effective the program is. And if you take the total number of people that we arrested last year at about 141, and if you Google this, it says it's true, we would not be able to fit on a Boeing 737, which only has 137 seats. So because of the community's effort, the media's effort, and law enforcement effort working together to rid communities of problem offenders, we were able to fill a full-size airplane. And if you ever needed a visual of how effective the program is, we hope that that helps a little bit, but we do think that we can do more. And that's why we're launching this initiative today. As a side note, in the future, I will probably do this before Christmas next year, and you'll understand why in a second. The reason silent witness works is people want to make their community safer without being identified. They don't want retaliation. They don't want to face reprisal. Many of the people who call silent witness know who the suspect is. And I don't mean like they live next door. They live with, they go to school with, they work with that suspect. And we rely on that, which is why we protect their anonymity completely. When you circle back to me and say, was this case solved? Typically, I can't answer. I'll refer you to a PIO because we don't want to give any indication of silent witness solved a case because we want to protect the tipsters. To make that point why people really believe their communities need to be safer, only about half of the rewards get picked up. And here's a brief overview of how that works. When you contact silent witness by email, by phone, or by our app, you're completely shielded. We don't know who you are. Because we don't know who you are, we couldn't pay you, so we give you a tip number. We need you to hide that tip number and keep that tip number, so then you're encouraged to call back in about 30 days to see if your information led to an arrest, and that tip number is how you identify who you are. If the information did lead to an arrest, then you select a bank, you walk in, you give the tip number, and you walk out with cash. It is that simple. No ID, no signature. We don't want to know who you are. Don't tell us who you are. However, if only half the rewards are paid, that means that people are probably doing a lot of this to make their community safer. When the arrest is made, the information goes to a board of silent witness directors. It's about a 30-person board, people from the community, and they vote collaboratively based on a point system how much of a reward you're entitled to. So typically when people are asking for a reward, they're waiting at least 30 days to get the reward. We're launching today a program called Catch-22. We've all heard the term Catch-22. We are going to feature 22 felons in the next 30 days or so, probably not on weekends, And we're working together as law enforcement agencies to find and to arrest these individuals. And the moment the handcuffs go on those individuals and the detective verifies that with us, then you're eligible for $500 cash, no questions asked. It'll probably be within a day or two that you're eligible for that reward. We want to put this money in the hands of the people who are providing that information very, very quickly. And we want to show the power of teamwork with state, with county, and local law enforcement all working together to rid our communities of people who are causing harm to those communities. Now, you may see in the next 30 days, we may not be sending 22 cases in rapid succession. We may exceed this. And the people who we don't feature, who call in with information, will still be eligible for up to $1,000 cash reward. The process may take a little bit longer. So my message to the community is, if you have any information about a felon or somebody who's involved in felony activity, we need you to call Silent Witness, even if we're not featuring that person. Before I turn it over to our guest today, I would like to talk about who we're going to feature today as our first case. Recently, we had a Phoenix motor officer who was on patrol, who was run over by a vehicle, and that vehicle fled the scene. It is very hard to imagine that you have hit a motorcyclist and not known that you did that. And the fact that you had chosen to flee the scene, it shows that you have a disregard for human life and safety. We have a suspect named in this case. We do have probable cause to identify or to arrest that suspect. And the first case that we send when we leave today is going to be us asking for the public's help through the media, through the Catch-22 program, to find and locate this individual. And I'm going to have that individual on the screen in a moment. I'd like to introduce Phoenix Police Assistant Chief John Collins to say a few words.
Thank you for being here today. I just want to let you know that the Phoenix Police Department appreciates and values the relationship we have with the community. And as we roll forward with Silent Witness and the Catch-22 program, you know, it's very important that we have the community interact and assist us with this, because we can't do it without you. And also, reference the Maricopa County Sheriff's Office, the United States Marshals Service. Can't do it without them. So everybody working together, the community and local law enforcement, this will be a good program, and we look forward to keeping the neighborhood safe, and we're committed to safe communities out there. So thank you for coming.
At this point, I'd like to introduce Deputy Chief Fred Alderossi from the Maricopa County Sheriff's Office.
Good morning. As everybody knows, Sheriff Penzone has a long history with Silent Witness, and we are very proud to partner with Silent Witness and our local and federal partners in pursuing a safer community for all of our citizens. We're very pleased to have been invited to be part of this, and as Chief Collins said, we need the community's assistance to be successful. So I would encourage everybody to keep your eyes and ears open and assist us to make our community safer. Thank you.
If you call Silent Witness 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year, you can call Christmas morning at 2 a.m. in English or Spanish, and you will get a live operator. That operator will determine the information, they will triage that information, and they will get it to us. We work very closely with the law enforcement agencies you see up here. We also work extremely closely with the Marshals Service, who has the ability to help us on a nationwide basis. And here to speak about that collaborative effort is United States Marshal for Arizona, David Gonzalez.
Thank you very much, and good morning, everybody. As mentioned, one of the primary jobs of the United States Marshal Service is to hunt down fugitives worldwide. Now, we are proud to partner with the Phoenix PD, the Sheriff's Department, and of course, Silent Witness, because they're very, very valuable, especially for Silent Witness, in getting individuals to call in. Now, here's the importance of all of us working together in the community and the media as partners of hunting down these fugitives. First of all, it's estimated that there are around 40,000 fugitives in Maricopa County. And that's hard to pinpoint because you have county warrants from all different counties, you have federal warrants, and you also have people from other countries and other states that also come to the Maricopa County area to hide out. And that is one of the biggest issues. For a fugitive to survive, they need to commit more crimes. And the more crimes they commit, the more it hurts our communities and our neighborhoods. And it's important we get them off the street as soon as possible, because when we interview fugitives, we ask them, how did you survive? How did you make money while you were on the lam? And they'll tell you, I committed 3 burglaries a day. I was slinging dope. I was doing armed robberies. I was breaking into cars at shopping centers, at the gyms, at these workout places. Any place they could find something to steal, they would. So they commit so many crimes on the lam. Also, what's also important is when you have a crime and you have somebody that's a fugitive, there's a victim. And we sometimes forget about the victims of crimes. And if you are a victim of a crime, and you know that individual is out there, is free, that really deteriorates our laws and the ability to work in those communities, and undermines our court system. So it's very important that we get those individuals off the street. And as U.S. Marshal Service, we have task forces all over the country, our foreign offices, and also working closely with Interpol. We have deputy marshals assigned to Interpol to work these people that leave the country. And my office here in Arizona work very closely with the Mexican government, Central America, South America, and Europe for fugitives that leave, for example, Phoenix, and go to and leave the country. It doesn't mean that sometimes they think that they are scot-free because they leave the United States or Maricopa County, and that is not true. We hunt them down just as hard as if we knew that they were here in Maricopa County. And this new program, which streamlines the process a little bit, I think will be very, very successful, and we'll all working together here will continue to support that and feed those individuals that need to be taken off the street and to face the crimes that they've been charged with. Thank you very much.
Last point, the checks have already been written. We have $500 checks waiting to give out. And what you're hearing up here today is there's a lot of people out there that maybe we're not going to feature this month. If you call us and any of these folks is facing felony charges, so whether or not you understand what constitutes a felony charge, give us the information, let us deal with it, let us work with it, we'll work with the investigators. If you're eligible, we will make sure you get paid. This is much bigger than the 22 cases we're featuring, but it is important that people know this. These are not your tax dollars we're paying. We do fundraisers. Silent Witness is a nonprofit. Police officers answer the phone, but the nonprofit money is raised through fundraisers. So when we're paying rewards, we're not paying your tax dollars, we're paying money that we raise. So when you hear that, we don't want people to think, well, is that the best use of my money? It's not your money. But we do have pre-authorization to start writing these checks, and we're excited to do that. We want to show the power of, it's not just law enforcement, it certainly is community, but between those two entities is the media, and we really need the media's help on this when we send these out. Is there any questions that I can answer about the program or that we can answer?
Just one.
Sir.
It's 500 if they're one of the 22 people on the list, but you said up to $1,000 if it's Joe Blow who's not on the list?
Correct. So the reason for that is the impetus of this program is quick payment. So if any other day you call Silent Witness and you're eligible for that cash reward of up to $1,000, the process takes a little bit longer. It has to go to the board for approval and for vetting, and then it gets paid out later. This is instant cash money. Now, if you call on a case where maybe somebody has, and I can't even give you a good example, Cameron, let's just say a low-level warrant, but it still reaches the felony, you might be on the lower end of that pay scale anyway. So what we're doing is we're trying to get a little bit more money than someone might get on a warrant tip and just pay them quickly. So I know that sounds a little bit like, hey, if the guy's not featured, why do I get more money? The process will take a little bit longer. And some of the folks that are truly bad people are out there, and we're just not in a position to highlight them right now for a lot of reasons, and someone may want to turn them in, and we'll take it. Is there any other? Yes, sir.
How much do you guys rely on the community effort of calling in a Silent Witness or even get tips from the community?
100%. So cops are really good at what they do, but we're much better when we can go to the community and say, who is this person? They live, they work, and they hang out where you are, but we understand that people don't want to go above radar and turn them in. So in the cases that we come to the community, 100% relying on the media to tell the community we need their help. And the community really steps up. When we go back to the number about only half the rewards are picked up, that kind of indicates that not everyone's in this just for the money. People really want their communities to be safer. Oh, I'm so sorry, Cameron. And by the way, we get a lot of tips of people we didn't even know were committing crimes, and people just for a variety of reasons want to turn that person in. Yes, sir.
And you said, so if you get this guy who's on screen, you get a number, and you said you just go to a bank, I go to Chase Bank and get $500 or?
So what'll happen is once you get the number, once you call in with a tip, the person who's taking the call will walk you through the process. They will talk to you about how to not lose that tip number, and then they'll encourage you when to call back. On a typical case, they'll say call back in 30 days, see if that leads to an arrest. On one of the cases that we're featuring, they might tell you you can call back 3 days from now, or if you hear the person's arrested, call back. When that happens, they'll work with you to determine what of the participating banks is in the area you want to go. We just tell the bank someone's coming in for money, and we're out of it.
So you guys have partnership with area banks?
Correct. Correct. When you go into the bank, thank you for bringing that up. No ID, no signature. Don't tell anyone you're going to the bank to do this, or don't tell us. We don't want to know. We just want you to take your cash and leave. This program's been around about 39 years in the Valley, and we've not had any situations where someone's been compromised, and that's why we jump through all these hoops. So thank you for that question.
What about people who do call in? Will silent witness call them back and go, hey, you know, what was your name again, or anything like that, just in case that felon assumes somebody called in and is trying to track down that person?
We can't, because we don't know who they are. So what I tell people, and the younger folks kind of look at me strange, we basically pay a service the equivalent of a rotary phone. We don't know who's calling in, which is why part of our educational component when we go out to communities is lock that number somewhere, maybe under a pizza number, do something so that you can retain that. Because if we need more information, if you're not working through our shielded two-way communication on the, there's an app you can download, and if you don't opt into that system, we never know who you are. And so oftentimes people, there's a lot of reasons why they won't come in and claim the reward, but we want them to at least call us, let us give you the options. If you're eligible, we want you to consider at least picking it up.
Because we always hear about scams where people call up and just in case of a felon,
Yeah.
my neighbor turned me in. Silent witness will never call you back.
Never, thank you, that's a great angle. Never would call us, never would call you back, and couldn't even if we wanted to. We truly don't know who you are. Any other questions or comments? Thank you for everyone for being up here today and partnering. This partnership, we've heard it time and time again, and you heard it during the serial shooter investigation. What we have in this county, between the Phoenix Police Department, the marshals, the Maricopa County Sheriff's Office, and all the police agencies, it is unheard of. It doesn't happen like this everywhere else, and that's what enables us to be successful. But I think I speak for all of us saying we could not reach our communities without you guys. We hope to inundate you with cases in the next 30 days, and we hope to put as many people in jail as possible. I also hope to come back to you in 30 or 40 days and give some great success stories. But if we get a lot of calls and don't get people in custody, but people still partner with us, then we're still successful. So thank you again for being here today.